Welcome to Kevs Travel Stories. Each week I'll be bringing you a story from the weird and wonderful world of travel, a world that can change the way you see life and love and even the way we find meaning. Places that are iconic and sometimes surprising and even terrifying. So sit back and enjoy while we go on a magical mystery tour together. Welcome to Kevin's Travel Stories, and this week we're going to talk about something that's really on everyone's mind. If you're human and you're born human, it's about the thorny subject of sex and how, in particular, holiday travel can improve our precious sex lives. It's extraordinary, really, isn't it, that we will spend vast fortunes on plastic surgery, vast fortunes on pharmaceuticals, vast fortunes on clothes, all in the pursuit of improving our sex lives, the thing that actually makes the world go round. Whereas a much cheaper and a much more guaranteed and instant way to improve your sex life is actually to take a holiday. Dear listener, I kid you not. How can it be? Well, there's a lot of studies on this, believe it or not. And I'm also going to reference your own personal history of taking holidays and going away. And the reasons start to emerge, and they make a lot of sense. When we go on holidays, we have a renewed sense of adventure. We can be deeply emotionally bonded with the person we go on adventures, holidays with. Holiday travel creates opportunities to actually rekindle romance and intimacy. I'm going to share some real-life stories and research, and it doesn't have to be a massive long-haul break to the romantic Mauritius or Seychelles. No, it can be as simple as a one-night city break in a town or city you have not visited before. That's quite important, having the novelty element, but we'll come to that as we go. So let's look at some of the basics as to how you can improve and why you improve your sex life when you go on holiday. Well, breaking away from routine is one of the biggest pluses when you have a break. The great challenge in any long-term relationships, as I'm sure many of our listeners will know, is maintaining the excitement. For many couples, the daily routines can make intimacy feel like just another task. I was talking to a working mum who has 3 kids. She was talking about how the work and the kids and the chores really have ground her and her husband down. And they took a recent trip to Bali, and she said everything changed. It was like magic. The grandparents were minding the kids, and she talked about the fun of being together, how they laughed and how they tried new things, including sex. So this experience of my friend is backed up by research. There's a study in psychological science which found that novel experiences, exactly like those encountered on holidays, they stimulate the brain's reward system. They boost dopamine and they reignite passion in long-term relationships. Isn't that magical? Couples who break out of their routines and embrace these new activities together report greater relationship satisfaction, including their sexual connection. Another big thing is the reduction in stress. Stress is a major factor, as we know, in decreased libido. And holidays provide the perfect antidote. I've another friend, he's a 40-year-old software engineer who lives in Dublin, and he was telling me how the stress of day-to-day life, it was really overbearing, and it's almost insidious because it creeps in. And he was telling me it wasn't until him and the missus went on a trip to Mexico, they were away from their day-to-day responsibilities, and he talked about how his stress really disappeared. It took 5 or 6 days, and this is a common occurrence because the body has to readjust. Not only the clock has to readjust, but you're getting different sleep patterns. But it will have a profound effect. As the stress levels go down, the desire, the appetite for sex, which is one of our most potent appetites, goes up. There's a study in the Journal of Sexual Medicine that confirmed that stress leads to decreased sexual desire, particularly in women. And another survey I was reading, the US Travel Association study, found that 77% of couples who travel together experience a stronger sex life. I'm going to repeat that because it's very profound. 77% of couples who travel together experience better, stronger sex, largely due, they said, to the reduced levels of stress. And this absence of everyday pressures allows people to unwind, couples to create space where intimacy can flourish. Another thing that travel enhances is self-esteem, which in turn boosts attraction and sexual connection. This boost in confidence and attraction magically seems to reappear when you're alone with a couple, even a long-term partner, and the magic can then happen. There is a study published in Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin, and this found that positive self-perception, how you regard yourself, is tied intimately to increased sexual satisfaction. When people feel good about themselves, something that travel can encourage through new experiences and the confidence you have in finding yourself again, this opens the door to sexual intimacy and connection. And it goes on, this whole idea. This further study in the US Travel Association found that 63% of couples felt more emotionally connected after traveling together. Yes, the very act of traveling together, it reignited this old love, this old desire, this sense of need for sexual companionship, and the uninterrupted time away from these everyday distractions fostered emotional closeness. This is when emotional intimacy improves and sexual intimacy follows. The same study actually revealed that 68% of couples said vacations helped directly improve their sex lives. And there is something also about new environments can spark desire and intimacy by actually stimulating the senses. The University of Colorado Boulder showed that exposure to new environments enhances mood and well-being. And when couples experience the beauty and excitement of new places together, their sense of connection deepens, and this can translate directly into increased physical, sexual intimacy. So we see there's this great weight of evidence to show how travel will increase and improve your sex life. Another element to that can be the increased physical activity that happens on holidays. And there is this link between the amount of activity we take and our desire for sex. The Journal of Sexual Medicine, for example, found that regular physical activity is linked to higher levels of sexual desire and satisfaction. And physical activity can go up on a holiday. There is lying on a beach, of course, but often holidays involve, an afternoon walking. Maybe there's a hiking. Maybe you're swimming in the sea. Maybe you're doing a game you don't often get to play, whether that's beach paddle or beach tennis. There's this general frolicking around that couples can get up to. And this all increases endorphins. It all boosts energy. It improves your overall health. And this contributes directly to a healthier sex life. New activities, when performed together, ignite a sense of adventure. This sense of adventure can translate directly into the bedroom. Isn't that wonderful news? Again, this is such an easy fix for couples who have been worn down by day-to-day life at home and all the stresses of kids and work and the awfulness of social media, the imposition of the bings of notifications and Instagram and TikTok, just draining your energy. Very interesting. I'd refer you to a 2016 study published in the Social, Psychological and Personality Science, which found that couples who engage in adventures and adventurous activities feel more connected and report higher relationship satisfaction. Now think back to when you've been away with your loved one. It's across the board of sexual feeling that when you actually go out and experience novelty and excitement, which a trip to somewhere new, and this is where it's important to go somewhere new if you want to get this added zip to the relationship. Of course, there are lots of advantages to going back to the same place. I have friends who go back to places like their house in Marbella year after year. But you're going to not have that little edgy element of the new, that together you're discovering a new road, a new shop, a new place. It's that light little frisson of danger. You're discovering this together, you're meeting this danger together, and this adds a dynamic to sexual relationships. And finally, the studies show that it's the power of uninterrupted sleep when you're on a vacation together that makes a huge difference. So we now know that sleep is becoming deprived in our day-to-day lives at home. This is because of screen time. It's because of the way that working from home, the boundaries have been broken. Before, when you returned home at 5:30 or 6 in the evening, if you were a day worker, you could sometimes leave work behind. That is no longer the case for many people. And this way that work is impinged on home life and how screen time has really disrupted good sleep has had a huge impact on our sexual health. And what happens when we are on holiday? Well, we sleep in. We take naps in the afternoon. We do all sorts of things that are not part of our day-to-day home routine. And isn't that wonderful? We find after 2 or 3 days readjustment that you will sleep better, sleep deeper. You're in a different bed, often a more comfortable bed with a wonderful view, possibly, in a new city or on a beach. You may be going off hiking into mountainous regions. You may be surrounding yourself with different activities that all aid sleep. And the research shows that improved sleep leads directly to a healthier sex life. So you can see here what an incredible opportunity travel is when it comes to that most fundamental of all human activities, which is sex and reproduction. If you find yourself tired, depressed, in a rut, organize a breakaway. Get onto the travel agent now. Clear a day or two. If you're in a relationship where there are children, farm the children out for a night or two. You'll always find friends or grandparents or whoever it is who will be able to help you out for a couple of days, and you will be able to reap the rewards by recharging your batteries and recharging that most important of relationships, which we now know undoubtedly, if there is a poor sexual health element to your life, you will live less fuller and richer life, and you will live a shorter life. So actually paying attention to the quality of your sex life is a great, powerful, priceless investment, and travel can help you achieve that. Now, what are you waiting for? Let's go out. Let's book that holiday and have some fun.